taco. This is my top. This is my anterior. This is my posterior. What are other words for anterior, posterior? Yeah, dorsal and ventral. Which one's which? Ventral is anterior. Dorsal is posterior. Okay? So this is going to be my baby's abdomen. This is going to be my spine. Okay? So it's growing. It's growing, it's growing. It's a taco. And then it's going to fold like a fortune cookie.
Fortune cookie.
That's the easiest way to describe it. Can you tell I'm hungry? Okay. So it's going to fold like a fortune cookie. Okay. At first, we can't tell the difference between the head and the butt. Okay, but eventually we will. We're still going to do a crown rump length.
So that's
Okay.
that one, right? How many separate?
What? That's it. There's my baby right there. Okay? Now, it's still during embryology. It's a conceptus from the time it's implanted, from the time of conception up through the 3rd week. It's called a conceptus. The baby's growing. Okay? Once it reaches the 4th week, it's considered an embryo. The 4th week through the 8th week, it's an embryo. Now remember, some women still don't know they're pregnant yet. Okay? So, during that time, sex is going to be known from the very first, from entry into sperm and ova. Okay, that's when sex is determined. Okay? Because what happens is the boy baby forms just like the girl baby. The girl baby forms just like the boy baby. Okay, we can't tell the difference. Okay? Because we have paired ducts during this, during the genital ridges is when we have the nephric. What does that stand for? Kidney. Okay, paranephric. Mullerian is woman. Mesonephric. Wolvian is boys. Okay? Kidneys go this way. Genitalia stay in the bottom. It's the kidneys that travel up. That's why we can have a pelvic kidney, is because that kidney never left the pelvis. Okay? So if something happens and this Mullerian duct or the Wolvian duct does not fuse the way that it should, then I'm going to have a deformed kidney, or I'm going to have a deformed uterus, or vagina, or cervix. Okay? And this is a little bit about how embryology is. Okay? So here are the mesonephros. What are the mesonephros? First, second, or third?
Second.
Or the second one?
Second.
Or the second one. Okay? It's the metanephros that are going to be our permanent kidneys. These are going to go away. Just like the poronephros. Okay, they're going to go away. It's just a space that God put, that reserved this space for kidneys. Okay? So, from the female, you have fornix. Fornix are what?
Cervix. Cervix.
They're in the cervix, where the cervix meets the vagina. You have 2 anterior, you have 2 posterior. Okay? You have the cervix. In the cervix, you have an external os and you have an internal os. That's what you hear, the mucus plug. That's what they're talking about. Okay, that's what they talk about. Okay, when you lose this plug, then that's when you go into labor.
Delivery.
Okay, because the cervix is a big fat muscle with a hole right in the middle of it. Okay, but as I get closer to delivery, it kind of softens up. It gets kind of flat. Because once the cervix gets to 10 centimeters in diameter, then the baby comes out. Okay? I have the uterus, and I have the fallopian tube, and I have the ovary. What covers all of that?
Serous?
No?
Broadly board.
The broad
Ligament.
ligament. Mesometria, mesosalpinx, meso-ovarian. Okay? All of it is the broad ligament. Here is the ligament of the ovary, and we just learned yesterday that it's also called the proper
Proper
ligament.
ligament.
I'd never heard it called that day, but I'm 65 and I learn something new every day. Okay? I expect to always learn. Don't ever get overconfident that you don't feel like you can't learn.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I don't know what that picture's of. Okay. Okay. But if that Mullerian duct does not fuse the way that it should, I can only have 1/2 of my uterus develop. Okay? And that's called a unicornis. Unicornis. Okay? It is associated with renal anomalies. A lot of times you will have renal agenesis, meaning what?
No kidney.
No kidney.
No kidney.
No kidney. It could be unilateral or bilateral. Bilateral agenesis is not compatible for life. Okay? If I have one kidney that is in my baby, then the only kidney I have is going to be bigger than 9 to 12 because it's doing the work of 2 kidneys. It's also associated with a pelvic kidney. The kidneys come in the pelvis and they travel up to the renal fossa. Okay? They travel up to the renal fossa. I could have a horseshoe kidney where my inferior poles are fused. Okay? One of my seniors saw one for the first time day before yesterday. And he goes, Miss Shepherd, it's exactly what you said that it was. She goes, he said, but I would have never guessed it because I was guesstimating the inferior pole, but my sonographer caught me. Okay? And then we went midline aorta, cross-sectional aorta, and there it was. You could actually see the inferior poles fused. Okay. A double uterus, a double cervix, a double vagina is called a didelphys. Didelphys. Bicornuate. 1 vagina, 2 cervix, 2 uteri. Bicornuate. What is this one?
Duplex. Duplex.
This is a bicornis. This is a bicornuate. 1 vagina, 1 cervix, 2 horns on the uterus. Unicollis. 1 vagina, 1 cervix, 1 uterus, only a half of a uterus, and only 1 fallopian tube. The other side never developed. Okay? Septate. One vagina, one cervix, but my uterus is formed, but now I have a septation. Okay? I have a septation. If a baby inserts if the blastocyst implants onto the septate, you're gonna lose the baby. There's no blood supply there. There's no blood supply. So the baby will die. It will just expel itself. You'll never even know you're pregnant.
Can it go to either side?
It can go to either side.
There's to the side doesn't matter.
It was in the news not too long ago. A woman gave delivery. A month later, she had another delivery.
She had one
So
on
they
each
can
side.
get pregnant?
Yeah, they can both
carry-
get pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Except
They can also burst.
Oh.
They can also burst.
But were they both growing at the same time? I mean,
No.
Not at the same time because
One got pregnant a month after the other one.
so while she was
So eventually she had.
She had ovulation and she got pregnant again.
Yeah. Oh.
God is great. If He wants you to suffer the rest of your life, you're gonna suffer. I'm just joking. I love being I really love being a grandmother a lot better than I love being a mother.
hear. My parents said the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can also have a septate uterus where the septation doesn't go all the way down. You can see that this septation goes all the way through the cervix. This only goes through the body or the corpus of the uterus. And again, if the blastocyst inserts or implants into that septate, there's no blood supply, so the baby will expel itself.
So both subtates, in this case, they cannot carry baby, right? It's gonna come out.
No, you can carry a baby
But it's not gonna be.
as long as it doesn't implant here
Where?
on the septation.
Oh, okay.
There's no blood supply in the septation. Okay? Okay? But if it implants here, you can carry a baby. Okay?
So maybe undiagnostic until the lady feel pregnant.
Now, my body's still going to tell me I'm pregnant because the trophoblastic cells put out HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. Because the blastocyst is still going to do what God tells it has to do. So my body's going to think that it's pregnant because it is pregnant. It's just that the baby can't survive. So it's going to discharge itself. Okay? The body will just absorb it.
I mean, the girls who can grow undiagnostic until pregnant. So undiagnostic like 20 years ago, the first 20 years, maybe.
Can the baby grow and grow and grow?
I mean, some for this anomalies with any females.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you can live until
Yeah.
she's pregnant. After that will be diagnosis one of type of the anomalies.
Yeah, it's usually going
no
to,
symptoms or
it's
signs.
there's no symptoms, there's
No
no
signs.
signs. It's an incidental finding.
Wow.
Okay, it's an incidental finding. They're not going to do an ultrasound on every newborn.
Yeah.
Now, they do a physical exam. The doctors will do a physical exam. But what can they see? Only if they have two vaginas. Okay.
They can tell because it's something
Yeah.
external.
Now, are both vaginas used? Probably not. Probably not. Because they're usually on top of one another. They're not side by side. Okay? So when the patient tells you, I have two vaginas, you ask them, which one do you use? Or would you rather insert the probe? You were gonna
You
ask
say
me a
they-
question?
They're on top.
Both of them, both.